Take advantage of the Boxing King Media discount at BYD Sheffield. You can get this amazing car for £269 per month with a £269 deposit. Details in the description.
Boxing King Media, powered by the Riyadh season. We're still in Riyadh. It's the day after. Everyone's running on like very little sleep. Spencer Fearon, we saw, well, in fact, what I'll say to you is, did the card and the build-up live up to expectations on the last crescendo?
Yeah, it did. It did because the fights, there wasn't a bad fight on the card. Every fight was a good fight. You know what I mean? If you had a sub-story to certain of the fights, then it wasn't all of that, but may we just say a massive big up to, was it Josh Pidley, yeah? Padley. Sorry, Padley. My apologies, bro. So, right? Just for how he turned up and wore his heart on his sleeve and he come out like he's everybody's hero right now.
Well, I'm going to start with Josh Padley, seeing as you've brought it up, Spence. I always look at the comments and what fans' opinions are, and a lot of people are dropping a lot of negativity towards Shakur Stevenson, basically saying he's not as good as he thinks he is, or as good as
he's not as good as he thinks.
Well, there's a lot of comments online, but also I spoke to Duke McKenzie earlier, and I think I caught Duke. Big up Duke from the same ends back in Jamaica, but he said the same.
He's a Clarendonian. I love Duke McKenzie. You know what I mean? Been a family friend for years and years and years and years. And Duke's entitled to his opinion, right? But also, people got to look at Duke McKenzie, a fantastic boxer throughout his career. I know Duke. I remember Duke from when I was a little kid. I used to go to Thomas Beckett and the Henry Cooper and watch him train. But Duke isn't in the position to say he's wanting to be overly critical of Shakur Stevenson, because even though Duke was a three-time world champion, right? An incredible accomplishment and Britain's first ever to do it, right? Freeweight world champion, yeah, right? Nobody can knock his accomplishments and anything that he's done, ever. Forget about it, right? But Duke, when I was a kid, I didn't like how Duke used to box, right? It's only when I grew up I understand that this guy was an actual pugilistic specialist, right? He was really, really good. Had an incredible jab and everything else, and that's not for me to detract. The thing about this is that Shakur Stevenson is so good, right, that he can just stand there and just dictate, and like there isn't no urgency in his work because he's not an urgent kind of character. He just wants to secure victory and take care of things. And you also got to look on Shakur. How old's Shakur now? Right, see, 26 maybe? But he's still very childlike. If you see on the things that he does and all the rest of it, he's very childlike. And he's that good, like, I don't understand how nobody else is not seeing it. He's that good. I mean, Padley came out and did what was expected, thinking like, right, the guy said on short notice, then Shakur's just meant to rush him and get him out of there in 3 rounds. That's not Shakur Stevenson's style of boxing. So if you're looking for someone to crash bang wallop, don't turn into watch Shakur Stevenson. But if you want to watch things where you're going to be amazed by technicality and brilliance, and that's what we saw from him, was technicality and brilliance. Yes, he could have put it on him because there's certain times where he opens up and he's throwing an array of shots. It's absolutely beautiful. And I would say to Shakur, like, to continue doing that in your fights where you're putting in those bursts, because it's those bursts, because he can just stand there in front of someone and you don't want to attack him because he knows how to evade shots, he knows how to counter really well. You saw in the fight where he actually switched and went orthodox as a southpaw fighter. He's very good, and yes, we were expecting something bigger, and I think we'd have got that if it was Schofield. If you fought Kid Austin, I think we'd have got that kind of fight for him, because there's something bit between his teeth. Oh, they changed the opponent. He was just going through the gears.
Quick question on that then. So you're saying potentially with Schofield would have lit up a bit more, but I think the question online is why wasn't he able to stop a full-time electrician who's come in on 3 days notice, just flying over? Why is he took him 9-10 rounds to get him out there? And obviously Padley did tell me that he didn't feel he could punch, and he said he was stopped to the body because he's not been doing any groundwork, he's just been ticking over.
Padley has to say that, right? But end of the day is this, right? You'd expect for someone to come in at late notice for you to do a job on them, similar to what Joseph Parker did to Macaulay.
That's a good example.
Right, that would be an excellent example. But
that's what people were expecting.
Yeah, I know, but they're expecting that. Why? I don't know why. Because Shakur don't fight like that, right? Shakur is an artist. He's an artist who doesn't take risks, right? But I'm telling people, when people are saying, nah, he ain't that good. He's lucky that he didn't have tank in. He's lucky that he wouldn't fight the same way if he had tank in front of him, and that's the truth. So I'm a big admirer of his skills, but I'm saying like there's a dying trend in where we're not focusing on skills. But yes, I do admit he should have taken this guy out. He should have taken this guy out. We're even with his skill level, that's to put it on him and all the rest of it. But he's that guy who doesn't take chances. And I think the problem with Shakur, right, which is not a great problem, but the problem with him is this: he wants everything to be perfect. I want to place the perfect shots. I want to throw, just like because we're talking about the Ring magazine, like they're the encyclopedia of boxing history, and on the front cover it was Muhammad Ali and Rocky Marciano, right? Loads of people ain't got that book, but when you were growing up as a kid, you had that book by Knight Fletcher, right? And I'd read that book religiously, and it was a pictorial history of boxing, and then you'd look at Sugar Ray Robinson when he stopped Jake LaMotta, February 14th, 1951. And the shots that he was throwing, or the pictures on it, it was picture perfect. And I think Shakur wants to do everything picture perfect, so much that he doesn't acquire urgency. And I think that he should put in a little bit of urgency, but if you know him, that's not him. But I'm still saying he's still one of the best in the world. He's excellent.
Okay, that's a fair breakdown. What was a flight through the card? A word on Joshua BUATSI's braveness. That's probably his unbelievable heart and will that he showed, and also the brilliance of Callum Smith.
What did you say? Joshua BUATSI showed his heart?
I thought he showed heart and bravery because he took some serious punishment and he still kept walking forward.
What? That's how he fights. So
I've never seen him get hit that much though.
yeah, but because he hasn't been in. What's the best caliber fight that he's been in with?
Based on his results, Willie Hutchinson.
Willie Hutchinson. Okay, then Willie Hutchinson. So Willie Hutchinson and right, he was a good fighter, but he's not a world-class fighter. Like world-class. He's world-class, he's fringe world-class. He's not a world-class fighter. That's not this. Willie's a good fighter though, right? Right, but he's not in the league of a man that's become a Ring magazine world champion. You know what I mean? Has won the Muhammad Ali trophy, knocked out George Groves. No, he hasn't done that, has he? You know what I mean? The only two defeats on Callum Smith's record is Baturviev, who's going to go down as an all-time great, and Canelo, who's already an all-time great. So there's no shame in that. So there's a massive gulf, right, from what we watched last night. We was watching last night's fights. There's a massive gulf when we're looking at the light heavyweight division and we're seeing Baturviev and Bivol fight. These are two elitists, right? And Callum is beneath that. And Joshua BUATSI, unfortunately, is actually beneath that. There is no shame in that, right? But that didn't. Joshua BUATSI, to me, it had nothing to do with showing your heart. You know what I mean? You should be showing your brains. And I'm not knocking Joshua BUATSI because Joshua BUATSI has accomplished a lot. But there are certain times in boxing, right, where we get so intertwined with the business and we forget that we're actually fighters, right? We get so about, I need this deal and that deal and this needs to be right and blah, blah, and all the rest of it. And then you become a diva, right? Without being entitled to become a diva. I'm not saying he is, but that's what happens in boxing, right?
That was going to be my next question. Are you trying to imply he's being a diva?
No, I'm not trying to imply that he's being a diva. What I'm trying to say is like, with Joshua BUATSI, he's a very calculated human being, right? And I believe that he's got a good team of people around him, right? But I'm saying, like I said many times, when things go wrong with you, when you think that you're being buried, you're actually being planted, it is for you to work out your way of cultivation. And if you can do that, then he's going to come back. But I always knew this was going to be a tricky fight. And you know what, even more so, I sent Tundi a message because Tundi was at Anti-Yard, yeah? And while the fight was on, because we was at different sides of the arena, both ringside were different sides of the arena. So I sent Tundi a message and I said, I saw Callum Smith yesterday. He was going into a lift and he looked so nervous, right? But you have to remember, like, nerves is an absolutely great thing when you can suck that up, and then you say, well, I ain't gonna get caught in nothing silly. I'm not gonna. And I thought he had a excellent, massive big up to Buddy McGirt, the two-time world champion, former WBC welterweight champion, former IBF junior welterweight champion. I thought the game plan that they administered to always answer back was fantastic, and fair play to them.
But Buddy was amazing in the corner from some of the videos I've seen. The next fight, just a quick word on Vergil Ortiz. A lot of people picked Madrimov to win on points. I think you did as well.
So did I.
All the experts, not just you alone, I think pretty much all the experts. In fact, I never got to interview Dominic Ingle, but I'm pretty sure. Let me have a look, just so I can make sure he said, because he texted me all the predictions, just so I could speak to. Yep, he had Madrimov points as well, so it wasn't on your own. And the guy that won, he showed his boxing skills. He just stood 10 yards behind you, Vergil Ortiz.
Yeah, is he there? All the credit in the world should be given to Vergil Ortiz.
Pull him over. See if we can pull him over.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yo, Vergil.
Just jump in there. Just move that seat next.
I'm very good, man.
This will be quite interesting, Vergil. The reason I've got you over, you know, I was saying to you yesterday, a lot of experts in the sport had Madrimov to win on points, and this will be quite a good way to get your version of it. Spencer, big time sports analyst from the UK, boxing historian, knows his shit when it comes to boxing, especially American boxing. But he picked Madrimov on points yesterday as well, and so did pretty much everyone I spoke to. So I just want to see if you could explain to why you had, what did you think of this man's boxing skills? He showed it up.
No, what happened was your last fight out. I was thinking, right, was there something wrong with the last fight out? No. Right, okay. But this fight here, you just turned up on another level. I didn't think that you had that in you. And I'm a man, and I'm saying like that. Yeah. It was good. Yeah, come on. Do you know what I mean? I ain't gonna call everything right, but it was how you performed yesterday was like, yeah. And it kind of made me put things in perspective, because you had Madrimov on the back foot. He didn't want to engage with you. Yeah. So you must bring, we always knew that you could punch, but it was your technicalities. And I like the little feints that you were doing as well when you was going down to the body. It was very good.
Thank you.
It was very good, very good.
So I'm gonna deep dive into it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So me and Madrimov have sparred before, right?
Okay.
So he's felt what I have before. Yeah. And not only that, but I was smaller back then. I was 147, getting ready for a Mean Machine fight back in 2021. I've gotten a lot, bigger and stronger since then. He was on the back foot from the get-go. He hadn't even felt a punch yet. And we heard in interviews that he had a game plan. And apparently it was just to move the entire time to try to frustrate me. But and trying to make me, I'm guessing to make me try to overbite and make me run into something. But I know what kind of fighter he is. He likes to be flashy. He wants me to try to bite and react too much. And so I was like, just keep my hands right here. And what did he do? Overhand hooks. I had my hands up the entire time. So I knew that's really all. I have it in my notes. But you know what? You're an analyst, right?
We love this kind of stuff.
I wrote
raw and real.
I'm gonna show you real quick, and you can read them. Hold on. Let me see. But you can read them out if you want. It's a whole list of key points.
Right. Okay. So his key points. He was on the left hook. Right on the left hook. He drops his left hand and he throws the left hook, right? So he's leaving himself open for a backhand. So it was imperative for him to have his blockers, and you could see that the blockers were working, because there's not only that, but he's talking on the overhand right as well. I see that here as well, but because that's what he was trying. But you were on the telephone all the time, so you was good. Yeah. So yeah, it's proper key points here. Yeah. You know what I mean? And his feints, like I was saying earlier, on the feints that Madrimov does. I
wasn't biting.
He wasn't biting, you know what I mean? So he was trying to do that to initiate something, and Mr. Ortiz was on point.
And one thing I didn't write on there is he likes to jab to the body and throw hard shots to the body to make you do this, so he can come over to the top, and then next thing you're wondering what is he gonna do next.
That's what when he tried to do that. There's certain times you did this, you done that move.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. You just got to do small movements while he's over here doing all these angles and stuff. All I'm doing is just keeping tight, and there was a point where he didn't know what to do.
You see, like in round 9, yeah, I saw like you done a little shuffle, like you shuffled forward, then you went over to your left, and then you dipped down. You threw the right hand and the left hook to the body.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
I watched it, right? So I do. So, like in there, like you see, like on the body attack, is that something that you worked on, like right throughout? That it just becomes like instinctive. You don't like, oh, I don't have to do it. You're not forcing yourself. It just natural instincts.
We've been working on the body since I was still a novice in the amateurs. My dad has instilled that in me from. We worked on it for hours and hours, so I used to cry because I didn't want to train anymore, and he would still have me do it. And I remember dropping someone to the body for the first time when I was 9 years old. I had 3 fights. It was before my 4th fight to the body shot, and I was like, it was just crazy to me. I didn't even know what happened because I was so young, and I didn't know that. I didn't throw it hard, but I didn't know at the time that body shots don't have to be hard for them to hurt. So body shots, it's no secret that I like to throw them. So I mean, I'll just say it like those are my favorite shots. It's just precision that really matters. The power, it can help, but if you got to hit it in the right spot, and it doesn't even have to be hard, and it's gonna do damage.
Yeah, because like since the move up from 147 to 154,
Yeah.
there's a massive difference in you. Would you actually killing yourself to make the weight? Because that's why I was saying, like, you ain't really settled at this weight now, so I don't. Yeah.
So look, I was killing myself to make 147, and there was a lot of downtime. So sometimes, like, since I wasn't fighting and keeping my weight low, like fighting 147, my weight was staying up here. Next thing I'm just getting bigger muscle mass, and all of a sudden I can't make 147 anymore, and I don't know that because I'm not fighting. So that being said, I got rhabdo trying to make 147, right? And it was like maybe like 2 or 3 fights that got canceled, which was like physically and mentally hard to deal with.
Yeah, a lot of
I'm
people
still-
throwing all sorts of accusations and stuff your way as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
Exactly. People were saying that I'm undisciplined and stuff. That wasn't the case. In fact, it was the opposite. We were trying to stay ready the entire time, but my body couldn't take it because these fights were falling through, and we're trying to stay ready for fights that aren't happening. So, anyways, people are saying, "Oh, my power isn't carrying over to 154 all that well because I haven't stopped the last 2 opponents." Like for example, the Bohachuk fight. Keep in mind, I had only won 2 1-rounders before that fight in 154. I'm still getting adjusted to this weight. I'm still getting adjusted to trying to feel 100% after my physical illness, which a lot of people do not come back from. It's even fatal to some people depending who it is. So this fight is showing I'm still getting better. The next fight I can be even better.
I'm glad that you said like a next fight, because like out of your potential opponents, if you could choose your next 3 fights, right, who would they be?
I mean, the next 3 fights, it really doesn't matter to me. There's a lot of names like there's like Fundora.
But he said the same thing to me. It's just like, who's that? He said, we don't care. Just bring them.
We really don't,
His dad.
because we say yes to everybody. Yeah, that's my dad, not my brother. That's my dad. That's my
He was
dad.
about his dad.
Yeah.
I was speaking to him last night.
Yeah. So he so Turkey has given us a bunch of names, and we say yeah to everybody. Like Xander, for example. From his point of view, he thinks that we offered him the fight. He said yeah, and we're like, oh, never mind, we don't want to fight no more. But on our side, Turkey's like, do you want to fight this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy? And we said we don't care. We'll fight all of them. And they say, you know what? Nah, we'll fight. You want to fight Madrimov? And I'm like, yes, for like the 5th time. So he's thinking that we ducked him, but the people running the show say no, fight Madrimov. I'm like, okay, that's fine with me. You know what I mean? So we say yes to everybody. It's really up to them, but I'll fight anybody. That's really it.
But you tell me, so this young man's always been seen as just no one's ever mentioned his boxing skills, and you've just seen that the game plan is out there. Clearly, you got to have boxing IQ to pull that off. How was he able to do a better job than Terence Crawford, who I know you're a massive fan of?
Styles make fights, right? Styles make fights. But not only that, I'm saying the
things he picked up, how come Terence didn't pick up? Like the things he's noted down.
Also, Madrimov wasn't on the back foot against Terence Crawford, like how he was last night. And that's more to do with like his ferocity, right? Because it was ferocious. Like you came, like there's times you come in like a proper pit bull, you know. And I was like, "You're gonna slow up soon," and you didn't slow up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
You didn't slow up.
there was times where I was like, you know what, let me box him. Like I think it was like the 10th or 11th round. I'm like, let me see if I can keep him out just like this. But when I started doing that,
Round 9.
yeah, I think no, round 9 was when I think I put it on him at the end. But I
Yeah,
think it was
that
like
was a-
10.
that was a
I was
great
like, you know what,
round.
let me see if I can. Maybe I don't have to push myself the whole way. But then he starts getting confidence, thinking, oh, he's tired. And he's trying to impose his will, like coming in with his head, and that's when all that started happening. So I was like, I can't let him get confidence. I had to leave him hopeless. So that's when I started going back again. But when Crawford was gonna fight Madrimov, I was saying that Crawford was gonna stop him because from what I was doing to Madrimov, what you saw
That's what I thought.
in the fight was what happened in the sparring. I put it on him,
Okay.
and they didn't come back to spar. So I thought if Crawford fights him like I did, he's gonna stop him, but he didn't. Crawford fought him like he didn't put it on him.
No.
If he would have stopped him. I fully believe that he would have stopped him in like 7-8 rounds. He would have did it, but he didn't choose to fight that way. He let Madrimov kind of apply the pressure and all that stuff. I don't know if it was like respecting the new weight class power. He didn't know what to expect, but like you said, the style makes the fights. Crawford had the potential to do it. I've seen him fight that way before, but I just think he just chose to fight a different way. But the way to beat Madrimov is really just play it simple. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, Vergil was just standing there getting hit and all this
He
stuff,"
wasn't, though.
but that's what works against him. And I know this because I've sparred him and I've seen even Terrence Crawford, who has pound for pound elite skills. His way wasn't the best way. It was a simple way.
Spence, I want to put you on the spot. This young man against Terence Crawford, based on what you've seen so far.
Well, so you
And I know, yeah. But what happened?
Listen, bro, I keep everything totally 100. Terence Crawford to me is a pound for pound best fighter in the world, right? But if we're judging off of the fight, it's not even the fact of him fighting. It's Terence Crawford fighting Canelo. Judging by the performance that I saw yesterday and how easily you dealt with Madrimov in comparison to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford has to go bring his A game. So when you say that, that's not on the spot, because I would still, if they were to fight now, it was your dad I was speaking to. No, yeah, your dad I was speaking to. And you say Terence is going to get a Canelo fight, he's going to go retire. Do you know what I mean? And that's not me bottling from it, because I'm saying I'm Terence Crawford, as far as I'm concerned, 102 pound for pound fighters in the world. This young man now is one of the best super welterweights in the world. And for that, and that's not me evading the question, I'm saying like Terence Crawford's my guy.
Definitely evaded.
Huh?
Definitely evaded it,
I'm
hasn't
saying
it?
Terence Crawford is my guy.
Yeah.
Right? So I would say on that, but he's got his aspirations and his dreams. So it's not whatever I think or anybody else thinks, it doesn't matter. Me personally, I think that Terence Crawford would be anybody, right? But after what I'm seeing, this guy's catching up.
One last question for you, Vergil. I know recently you met Adam Azim on the last Riyadh season trip. You sparred Dalton Smith. I don't know if you watched Adam's fight with Sergey Lipinets recently.
I think I did. Yeah.
And then also Dalton's the week before. What did you make of them two performances and how they are now, considering you've got another fight to see both of them?
Yeah, so I think they both did well. Dalton fought Chon, right? Spera?
No, he fought a French guy. Stopped him in the round.
But he did fight them.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did fight him though, right? Yeah, so he did well. As far as I can't really imagine how the fight can happen in my head right now. I'd really have to see some just video and just kind of analyze it. But I mean, it's a good fight. I mean,
What do you think of Azim, the way he dealt with Sergey Lipinets?
oh, of course, you have to be a tough guy to fight Sergey Lipinets. That guy's a hard hitter. I think Mikey Garcia's told me that he's the hardest guy that he's ever fought.
Wow.
Hardest hitter, I mean. But yeah,
Did you see the ending of the fight?
I did. I don't remember.
No
Yeah.
problem. But yeah, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it, brother, and hope to see you do more things in Riyadh very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on.
Me voy, me voy,